and welcome back to my channel and welcome to my final recipe of 2017. I can't believe another year has gone past. It's been a fab year. I've done some amazing things. I've been to some really cool places and I've done great stuff like launch my first range of merch, and I've also grown the Cupcake Jemma family, which is you guys, reaching over 1 million subscribers back in May, so thanks for sticking with me. And the fun is not over yet. I've got loads more fun stuff to show you in 2018, but this being the last one, I thought I'd show you something really special. And this is a really nice idea for a kind of pudding to have for a nice dinner party, maybe on New Year's Eve, and it is going to be a layered triple chocolate and caramel mousse. So this is a really simple recipe, but there are a few elements to it because it's going to be layered. And the first thing I'm going to do is make some salted caramel, which I'm then going to add to some ganache later to make it chocolatey, and it's going to be really tasty. To start with, I've got a saucepan here and I've got 90 grams of caster sugar. I'm going to add 4 tablespoons of water, that's 60 millilitres as well. And I'm going to set that over a medium-low heat, just until it starts to bubble. But while that's doing that, I'm going to get my cream ready because I want to add that in at the end and I don't want to be fiddling around. So I've got 100 grams of double cream here. I'm going to add 1/4 teaspoon of good quality vanilla extract and a good pinch of salt. And I'm just going to mix that together with a spoon, which is done. And now I'm just going to let that go until it starts to bubble. Okay, that's reached a really nice rich amber colour, so now it's time to add the cream. So I'm going to do that carefully. Make sure you stir it all the time. It's going to bubble up quite a bit, but keep stirring it until all the bubbles have subsided. So now that all my cream's mixed in thoroughly and the bubbling has stopped, I'm going to let that cool. Just set it to one side and then I'll get on with the next bit. Now this next bit that I'm going to show you is completely optional, but I do think it adds a certain je ne sais quoi to the pudding. And I'm going to decorate the glasses for the mousse to make them look extra special. And I'm going to be using these little tumblers. I think they're really cool and they make really nice receptacles for mousse. And to decorate them, I'm going to dip them in chocolate first and then decorate them with these lovely gold sprinkles to make them super festive. So I've just got some melted chocolate here. I just did that in the microwave. First of all, I'm going to dip this just about 1 centimetre in, and once that's got a nice coating around the edge of the glass, you can dip it into your sprinkles. And to ensure that as it dries, it doesn't gravity doesn't pull my sprinkles down the glass, I'm going to leave it upside down in this tray and put it in the fridge to set. Now it's time to start making the essential part of this dessert, which is the mousse. And I'm going to make 2 different kinds of mousse, a dark chocolate mousse and a white chocolate mousse, and this is the dark chocolate one. And I recommend using really good quality chocolate because there's very few ingredients in this mousse and you really want the chocolate flavour to shine. So I'm using a couverture chocolate, which is 50 or 55% cocoa solids, but I would recommend using anywhere between that and 70 and it would be absolutely delicious. So I've already melted 85 grams of dark chocolate and I'm going to add 45 millilitres of whole milk and give it a really good stir. And I'm going to put that to one side for a second because now I'm going to get my egg whites whisked. And this is a mousse which has raw egg whites in, and if you're worried about that, then if you're in Britain you can use lion grade eggs, which are super duper safe, or if you're in another country you can probably get hold of pasteurised eggs, which are also really safe. So I've just got 1 large egg white here and I'm going to whip that just until it's stiff peak consistency. Alright, so now I need to fold that into my chocolate mixture, so I'm grabbing it back. We need to fold this in so we don't lose too much of the air that we've just created. So just fold it in using either a metal spoon or your spatula, just really gently. That is looking moussey already, but I'm going to add one more thing to make it super duper rich, and that's double cream. So I have 100 grams of double cream. I'm going to whip that until it reaches kind of soft floppy peaks. Just right, so now I'm going to fold that into the rest of my chocolate mixture. Again, you want to be really careful not to knock too much of the air out so you don't lose the moussey texture. And it already looks like something I want to eat right this minute, but I'm going to resist because there's a lot more going on in this mousse. So for now, I'm going to start building up my layers. I've got my glass out of the fridge, and I'm just going to spoon this in gently until it reaches about 1 inch high. So that's going to be our first layer. And just to level it out a little bit, I'm going to tap that, give it a little wiggle, and then that I'm going to put in the fridge while I get on with my next bit. Now the next layer of my dessert is going to be a kind of chocolate caramel ganache sort of thing. So I've actually already made some chocolate ganache, and that was just 75 grams of dark chocolate, 75 grams of double cream, which I put in the microwave for 30-second bursts until it reached this kind of liquidy consistency. And obviously I already made my salted caramel, so I'm going to add half of my ganache to a bowl to start with, and then half of the caramel that I made earlier, just enough to give it a really yummy caramel flavour and get the consistency sort of nice and pourable. And then give it a really good stir to combine it. If you feel like it needs more ganache or more caramel, just go ahead and add that. It's really up to you. I think this is pretty good though. So this is going to be the next layer. I'm just going to pour that on, and I don't want too much because this is very, very rich stuff. So I'm going to make this about 1/2 centimetre deep. And that is layer 2 done and dusted. So while I get on with the next bit, this is going to have to go back in the fridge. So I'm back for layer 3, which is going to be the white chocolate mousse, and this is exactly the same method as the previous chocolate mousse, but using white chocolate instead. So 85 grams of good quality white chocolate, which I've already melted. I'm going to add 45 millilitres of whole milk, give that a good mix until it's combined. Then I've got 1 large egg white, which I'm whisking till it's stiff peaks. And when that's ready, I'm going to fold it into my white chocolate mixture. When that's all combined, I'm going to whisk my double cream, and I've got 100 grams of that. I'm going to whisk it until it reaches soft, floppy peaks, which I'm then going to fold into the rest of my mixture. And that looks pretty delicious. So that just now needs to be poured into my glass on top of my caramel ganache. And I'm going to pour slightly less than I did of the dark chocolate mousse, so just under 1 inch. And that now needs to set completely in the fridge before we finish it off. My dessert has been chilling in the fridge for half an hour now, so the white chocolate layer is now nice and set. So all that remains is to top it with a little bit of chocolate ganache. Obviously we made some earlier and I've got some left over. So I'm just going to spoon a thin layer of that because we don't want that to be the dominating flavour. Just going to layer that on top. And that is the finished layered triple chocolate caramel mousse. And I absolutely cannot wait to eat that. It's rich, it's decadent, it's not too difficult, you know, fairly simple. And I hope you have lots of fun making it, and I hope you do make it for New Year's Eve, and I hope that you have a brilliant New Year's Eve, and I look forward to seeing you in 2018. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already, make that your first resolution to subscribe to my channel, and if you haven't already checked out my merch, then go to my snazzy website, cupcakejemma.com, and you'll find loads of cool stuff to get your mitts on, literally mitts, because you can get other mitts. So I'll see you in 2007, and in the meantime, I'm going to have to eat this whole mousse to myself. Bye.
You said 2007? Yeah.
Oh my god! 2007? It's clearly not 2007, it's 2018. I'm basically stuck in the past. Oh well.